Guys, it's just a rant and a rave. I don't know what can make a boy off it today. Yeah. Baby. And here I thought, Dulas, you are going to speak sense, man to man. But no, because Dulas the Popeye. Now, where Kondanisa can you be focused? If you've got this platform, it can't just be Popeye o'clock every episode. Use it then to push your things and be focused about your life. That you're a very smart girl. You actually are a very smart girl. You're just drunk in love, my dear. That's all. Just unfortunate. You're love. We be all night. Omo, my love. Omo. Hey. Ikati Laserenke, guys. She was here. And she was out. But if something does not change with the structure of this television show, I know you guys are trying to make entertainment, but it's becoming pathetic to see people like Usandiso and Utebi together being immature children running around in front of cameras telling us they're trying to build families. Whom do you believe yourself to be, Tebi? I don't know. And you, as the side piece who now wants to be legitimized because you've made the choice to stay with this man, and you've made the choice that you're going to stand up for Istembu, still want to come in and dictate because nobody has groomed you to be a wife in this type of marital structure. And guys, this is really just a plea to my watchers and to the nation. What kind of delusion, guys, are we really living under here? Hello, everybody, and welcome to Rakhadi's Views with me, Rakhadi Wadzona. I hope you're all well. I am still in recovery from this flu and this cold, so I apologize for my voice if it's a bit raspy. Gizamile go ikeni kaganyane, with some herbs and some root vegetables. But if it hasn't worked, I'm so sorry. I'm still going to push through with this review because I want to give it to you guys and I want to post it out there because I said I would, number one. But also because I want Christmas, five to Christmas. And that five to Christmas, guys, Rakhadi is also going to go home and just be a child and bask in the love of my family. Where I have no responsibilities, perhaps except cooking the Christmas lunch. So once I get into that vibe, I know Shemkile, I'll be gone for like another week. So let me push it out now while I still have a chance. I welcome you all. If you're new to my channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. And please hit the notification bell button because that is how you're going to know when I've uploaded something. Rachel still timetable still a work in progress, okay, in terms of consistently posting. So the notification bell will at least tell you when I've uploaded so you can see it. And if you have not subscribed for my welcoming watchers, please do so and like and share this with the people in your life, even your enemies, guys. Let's do it because you know what? This is edutainment. These are long form reviews which are meant to be educational in nature because we watch these people on the internet and raseba a little bit about their lives, but more than anything, it's about us learning about life through their experiences, but also learning about ourselves in the places where we might see our own behavior in their behavior. So welcome to the show. Get strapped in, get comfortable, and let's get started with Mnakwethu Happily Ever After, Season 4, Episode 8. So the episode opens with Usandiso, Mr. Manga Manga, doing what he does best, meeting up with Qibi's family, about to just tell some more people some lies. Just everywhere he goes. Everywhere he goes. Manga manga. Anyway, so Qibi's there. Girl is done up because clearly somebody told her the cameras are coming today, girl. Aperi weave, aperi makeup. Sadiso's there. It's these two young family members. We don't really get introduced. So I don't know if it's sisters, it's cousins, it's aunts. But these two young women who are sitting there, Debbie introduces Usandi. So Sandiso says yes, he asked for the meeting so that he can come and make his intentions known to marry Utebi. Then they grill him a little bit, and find out, okay, like what's going on? You want to marry Debbie? Okay, but we don't come from a polygamous family. Did she tell you that? This is the first time we're hearing about somebody who wants to do anything to do with polygamy. Then the other one is like, yes, Tsebi came back and told us that, she was aware that there was a Mamkulu, but after having met up with you, she came back and told us, oh, no, now there's actually Honale number two, there's a Mamngani in the picture. Sandy so then admits that in true fashion, he lied, liar, liar, he lied to her. And that, yes, there is Mamkulu and there is a second wife, and Tsebi is going to be number three. Tsebi then refuses to be number three, and she tells him she doesn't want to be number three, and she also doesn't want there to be a third wife after her. I'm not going to say much about this scene because that statement alone, for me, you guys know how I feel. If you are going to make the decision when a man has lied to you about the situations that he is in, and then you start to get bits and pieces of the truth, and you are going to make the choice that no, I'm going to fight for this, for whatever your reasons are, they are yours. But please, can we own our decisions? Because people like Debbie want to make decisions and then come and dictate how things should be done, and still at the same time make yourself a victim. How? All in one breath, my darling. If you're going to stay with this lying ass man, which you said with your own mouth, I think 2 episodes ago when we met you, this person ananit. You know that. But you said, regardless of that, you are still gonna fight. You're not going anywhere. Umamngane, no mamkunu. They will find you in the ring, fighting for him. That's the choice you decided to make. And now you want to come in here and think that you can tell him that you don't want there to be number two. She must be moved out. You must be number two. And that there must be no number three after you. Guys, this is really just a plea to my watchers and to the nation. What kind of delusion, guys, are we really living under here? Debbie is just a reflection of a lot of us in society moving like this. How? You made the choice to stay with him, and you think you can go and tell this Zulu man how it's going to be and what the order is going to be, and then once he's taken you, there mustn't be enough. Get off our fucking TV screens. I'm tired of these children. I'm tired of these children. Wait again, guys. If we really want to be about this life, yes, tip, can we please, God, bring in some elders to guide people here, because this is a circus. It remains a circus amongst all of these characters, all of these guys who said they are going to Aka Imizi. Where? It's just giddy bye left and right. There's no elder guiding any of this conversation on either the man's side or on the women's side or on these side pieces who are about to be legitimized in a marriage. And you know what? I'm actually a little bit tired of seeing this. My friend says this often, that like Musam Seleku, guys, has ruined the nation. And I used to think that was a bit harsh, but I'm really starting to agree with her, because I think he has rubber stamped and validated this sleepy way of trying to put these families together. And I'm not saying that everything that is traditionally done in an old school manner should not evolve. Things should evolve and modernize. But this is not how you do it. You don't start by just cheating left, right, and center, and then you, as a little boy, thinking that, well, if I just bring everybody into the same room, they'll get along. You thinking that if I just go and get a Makwapeni who thinks she's only dating me, that when I finally reveal that there's a Mam Kulu and a Mam Ngani, she'll get over it and everybody will be fine. And you, as the side piece who now wants to be legitimized because you've made the choice to stay with this man and you've made the choice that you're going to stand up for Istembu, still want to come in and dictate because nobody has groomed you to be a wife in this type of marital structure. And so you somehow believe because you have feelings that have been hurt and you have been aggrieved by this lying man that you know is a liar. You think that you can come now and tell him that I am going to be number two and there's not going to be a third wife after me. Who do you think you are? Guys, it's just children doing their own things here. People in adult bodies, but children here, Ravana. There's a reason that if you're really about this polygamous lifestyle, guys, it takes grooming. It's a good thing if you've grown up in a family structure where you have seen this happening and you see the pros and you see the cons and you have role models. People out here just whiling, trying to think, deluding themselves into the fact that no, I just have a relationship with this man. I don't care about the other woman. That's not how a system works. You are in a family system. You are not in a silo. Even when you thought he was only dating you, you were not in a silo. You were in a bigger system. It's just that you didn't have the information. He did. I'm tired of children playing at adults. Baby, here you are, number one. And you found another child, little Raloka Lily too. Get just ringa roses of children, and then you're just going to bring into the mix your cousins, your aunts, your sisters. Because here they're these sisters, and listen, they were doing the best they can. They probably needed to shoot, a scene. We don't know where the real elders are in this situation. Maybe they're not even in Joburg. But where are the elders? I'm gonna tell you now, Mnakwethu production team. I want to see some elders next season if you guys are continuing with the show like this, and some elders who are going to bring some order. Because Rona as millennials, and I'm going to speak as a millennial myself. Woo! I'm tired of us. We go out here, we want to be in relationship with people, we pick up other people's children off the side of the road. None of us have the emotional maturity for one monogamous relationship, and yet we want to be adding extras. Giddy extra as we go along. And just messing up each other's lives and damaging and scarring each other, worse, bringing children into the situation. And how setse go senyehile, how setse mollo o tjhesa, that's when we're like, oh, maybe let's go find a malume somewhere and then auntie somewhere. Now they can come in. After we fucked all the shit up, now they can come in. And even when they come in, Sandy, so I'm still not going to tell them the full truth. No. Even when they come in, I'm going to tell them to their face that they don't know what they're talking about. Even when they're trying to hold me to account, I'm not going to be about that life, because what I really just need them to do is just to come in and just smooth it over with these extras that I've collected on the streets so that they can get into formation for the kind of life that I want to live. I am so tired, guys. I'm going to tell you guys right now, I'm going to review this to the end, okay? Because this is what I said I was going to do. But if something does not change with the structure of this television show, I know you guys are trying to make entertainment, but it's becoming pathetic to see people like Usandiso and Utebi together being immature children running around in front of cameras telling us they're trying to build families. Who do you think you are? I'm tired, guys. I'm tired. I need to start seeing some nation building television here. Like Kings of Maskandi, guys, they were doing something. They were doing the Lord's work. This is becoming a travesty to watch. It's becoming more and more difficult. All right. I didn't think I was going to come in this hot. Rant. This is a rant. For those who haven't caught on to this review is a rant. I didn't know it was going to be a rant. But Anyway, the lies continue. Baby's busy saying there, if I find out that, the second wife is still there, I'm gonna leave him. Girl, you're not going anywhere. If you were going anywhere and you had the self respect to get out of the situation, you would have done that the moment he told you that there was number two and number two with a child. And I'm going to tell you, number two, omufileng mojalefa, not going anywhere, not going anywhere. Because even though the little bit that I know about these Nguni Zulu men, they might be disgraceful and be disrespecting women left, right, and center. But for the most part, when it comes to their children, they're in it to win it. And if there's somebody who's the mother of his child, wena umang. 5 years he's been stringing you along with lies, denying you on television multiple times. Whomst do you believe yourself to be, baby? I don't know. Anyway, Gabi's family asks Sandiso if Mamkulu knows about the situation, about Utebi. He says Mamkulu doesn't know. And then her family members are like, well, how are we supposed to go and take it back to the elders and tell them that you want to marry this person? But Mamkulu doesn't even know the situation. Aye. So they also put pressure on him that is Qibi really going to be number two. Sandy saw in front of these two people, and Qibi and the cameras and the production crew and all of South Africa tells them that no, it's fine. She can be number two. There isn't going to be anybody else. Out of the other side, wait, so Sandy so doesn't even have two sides of the mouth, like the eight. It's just eight. Out of another side of his mouth in the diary session is telling us that obviously that's not true. Number two is staying in the picture. Also, because if I remember correctly, and maybe I don't remember correctly, correct me. But at the beginning of the season, I think he mentioned that when he went to go pay damages for the child, he also took out a little something, something in the way of lobola or intent to lobola umakhatebe. So, girl, baby, come on, boo. Boo! I mean, he's claiming Mamkulu and Makhatebe on television. You are the one who's being denied. Like, we just hope that people are going to watch this series and this season and maybe start making some other types of decisions in their lives when they have more information. Anyway, after the lines, he tells everybody. Her sisters say, okay, fine. They're going to speak to the rest of the family as long as he commits that he's not going to take a third wife. Popeye Sekas. Next scene, Kondanisa's sister goes to Mamkunu as she was requested by her brother, and we see that Mamkunu is painting in a room somewhere Zonka that she says, girl, I know Mamkunu painting by herself, Musiku. Like I'm sure I don't know, we like 17, and now she's painting after. She is just the epitome for me of just sisters are doing it for themselves. I respect that. Like, I respect that. I think there's a lot of also conversation and some conjecture that I've picked up where people are like, does Mam Kunu really have all of the things that she claims that she does? Where's the house? Why is she living in the back room? And why is it half done? Where's, what's going on? I personally can't be answering those questions because I don't know. And this is not a gossip channel, so I'm going to tell you people right now, I'm not researching anybody's life. I'm not watching anything about people's real lives out there. That I watch the reality TV on the television. But I'm pretty sure that there was a house that was being built because she would go there after work. I don't know if it was last season or the season before. And she would be there cooking for the builders. She showed us the progress of the house and the rest of it. So, as far as I know, I don't think Mam Kunu's lying about these things. Could she be exaggerating? For sure. But for me, what I sense from her is that level of ambition and drive. That's for real. That is for real. And I think Mama has realized that now I'm on TV and I've got some popularity and some success. She's going to make it happen for her. So I don't think she also strikes me as the flashy, flashy, look at me, look at me. Also because she's probably hiding some of these assets from her husband with reason, with very good reason. So anyway, I don't know what room it is, but what I do know is that she had a roller in her hand and she was painting the walls by her damn self. Okay? High five for that. Hi, Gonanisa's sister comes in, tells her that, Kondanisa asked me to come and apologize, and she was just like, apologize for what? What has he done? What is he bringing to the table? She's like, I asked him for a farm. Where's the farm? Sister's like, no, wait a gig. You must feel sorry for him. Basically, sister also knows there's no way that Kondanisa can get her a farm. No way. Doesn't have the resources. And I think that is exactly why Mam Kunu put it in there as the obstacle. Because she knows he ain't about shit. He ain't about shit. And then in her diary session, Mam Kunu is also like, you would think that a husband would be happy that I want something like a farm that can actually produce some income and some money and be a legacy for our family. When I tell Kondanisa I want a farm, he's busy asking me, what are we going to do with the farm? And she's just like, nonsense. Just goes to show where his mindset is. Because the focus for Kondanisa in his life is chasing women. Not even his Maskandi career, which became evident in the next scene where Dulas and Kondanisa meet up and find their brothers in arms, sharing stories about how things are going. Mainly it was Kondanisa telling Dulas it's real, it's rough. Both Mamkulu and Mamncane have left me. And then worse, he impregnated Usamanta's cousin Ujuba. Dulas looked shocked. And once he found out that Ujuba had been impregnated by Ukondanisa, he even said, Wabona. And here I thought, Dulas, you are going to speak sense, man to man. But no, because Dulas the Popeye, the next statement out of his mouth is that what actually you see, what should be happening is that you should be marrying that cousin. In the midst of all this turmoil and strife and trauma. No. It's not in Tulas's mind. This guy, because what are you telling me that you slept with and impregnated your wife's cousin? No. Mteto. That's what we must talk about. That you must go and marry this woman. Can't support the other two wives you've got. The potential third one, Mazwite, that you had, ran on two legs. And she must thank God and her ancestors. Now Tulas is telling you should be marrying this cousin. This show and these people. Yo, and not in the best way. Not in the best way. Anyway, they decide to go and visit Ungiti. And when I say Kondanisa has no focus, why? It is because when Dulas and Kondanisa are sitting with Ungiti, so Ungiti was also on the show, I think about 2 seasons ago. He was on the original first season of Mnakwethu with Musa going and lasering people's wives with cameras. And just to give you some background, so Ungiti was in season 1 ever of Mnakwethu, if I'm not mistaken. They go to his wife Emakaya. He's bringing some girlfriend, Nokulanga or Noku someone. That's supposed to be the Mamncane. By the time Ungiti is on Happily Ever After Mnakwethu, these dogs. Yay! Guys, sorry about that. These dogs are just, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, so by the time Ungiti got to Mnakwethu Happily Ever After, that Mamncane that he had introduced had left the picture. Now he got a younger, fresher girl. I can't remember her name, but she was the one that he eventually lobolad, and she was the official number 2, even though his first wife wanted nothing to do with any of this from the jump. He shoved number 2 down her throat, married number 2. I think number 2 even had his baby. Ungiti's got 15 children. Yes, all the children are blessings from God. I'm not going to be out here and coming for anybody's children. But how are you financially, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually supporting and covering 15 children as one person? Guys, the broken homes in our lives and in this country is just becoming an epidemic. COVID. 15 children. What kind of support do they get? What little piece of you do they get? Wait, I want to reference everybody who's watching now. I think Own still has a lot of episodes up. Iyanla Fix My Life. And go and watch that episode where she is dealing with a man who I think had 43 children. And that even became a series. And I think half of the season was around the broken homes and the dysfunctionality that is created by men just fathering children with different women in different homes. Very powerful stuff. I'm not going to get into it because we've got a lot to get into. Anyway, so Ungiti says that basically for him, it didn't work out either with the second wife because she developed a friendship with Usamanta, and that became problematic because, his wife was starting to be influenced by Usamanta, and Kondanisa was shaking his head like, yes, vele nyamazi lo, I know her. Being influenced, and Ungiti says because, they'd be texting each other and chatting about how they're not going to be controlled by their husbands. This reminded me of, like the very same reason that like our fathers were not on board when our mothers baqala dilo tsa society in the 80s and the 90s. Never wanted their wives to go to society or to Stockfell because you're going to meet either single women who are going to poison your mind. That was the thinking. Or you're going to meet the other woman, Bako Joburg. I can run out where you know how things are supposed to be done. These women from Joburg, these witches who are going to fill your mind with ideas you don't need to be knowing anything about. And listen, I'm not saying that those things didn't happen and they weren't completely wrong. But I think it helps to be in communion with women. This is not a Joburg thing. If you want to take it, even in Makaya, I get women are supposed to go, we get water together. We go and do the washing together. That's where we're talking. That's where we are sharing stories. That is where we are healing in community and learning and growing. And maybe some are having their eyes opened that like, Cecilia, you are being abused. I don't know what the reasons are. We don't know what happened with Ungiti and the second wife, but he says it's over because she started having conversations about not being controlled by a man. And then he also started to see that, she wasn't as humble as she was in the beginning. Well, when in the beginning, looking at the floor. I guess that's what the things you want. Looking at the floor, he was loving it all. And then after some time, she started to see that she could make money from doing this. When they, as the men, all they are wanting to do is, to build homes, foundations. But these women who are now in the mix are now starting to find ways to want to make money off of this. And why should they not? They're also on TV. They're also on TV. They're also putting out their lives, their pain, their shame. They are being shambalazed also in front of cameras. They are shambalazing other women because give another thing as Bumamngani. Why should they not be getting paid? Who must get paid from being on TV? You. Only you as the men. And then you'll decide if you even do that. Who must get paid if not them? They're also on TV. They're not extras. They're not supporting characters. Because I can tell you one thing, Ngiti and Utulas not Kondanis in this conversation. If this show did not feature any of the women, nobody would be watching. No one. There's a reason that music videos from rock and roll to rap and hip hop feature women. And nobody want to watch a show of a couple of niggas just walking around talking about nothing. Nobody. Women are not ornamental in your life. They're also not ornamental in this show. They are crucial and critical. So yes, they should be getting paid. I don't know how these conversations were taking place between Ungiti and the wife. But na as Rakadi, I will always support a woman working her way to financial independence, whether she's in a relationship or out of one. It is important in this day and age. It's not necessarily something we all want to be doing because the girlies are tired. But baby girl, if you've got a bit of money and a bit of security for yourself, you can make decisions that are in your best interest and not only based out of fear of what am I going to eat tomorrow. So if she was out there finding ways to make money, she can make money. She's on TV. This is her life too. So I have no sympathy for that. But anyway, the core of what I was saying was that it is clear. Kondanisa, focus is just women. Because Ungiti no Dulas were even saying, where have you been? Haven't heard from you. haven't seen you. Here we are. We can't even include you in the musical projects that Dulas and I have got going because Onyama late, we don't know where you are. And this at episode 8 is the first time that I even remembered that Konje, these people are Maskandi singers. That's their careers, allegedly. Now, where Kondanisa can you be focused? If you've got this platform, it can't just be Popeye o'clock every episode. Use it then to push your things and be focused about your life. Guys, episode 8 is the first time that we're seeing people sitting with a guitar and singing a song. Hi, man. Hi, man. No, there's too much focus on the drama. You guys need to be focused about it. It's 4 seasons in that you've been on television. And I think there was only one single that they released together. And I think it was Dulas, it was Kondanisa, and I don't know, maybe it wasn't Giti actually. They had that one song. One song. Listen, also, I'm not like an avid Maskandi fan, so I don't know if there was other music. But from what I'm seeing on watching the show, promote your music, guys. If you're gonna, for the very least, do it to feed your families. Push it. Ariane, guys. Mr. Q, let's go. Let's go. Because every single woman who is in your life, the only thing that they can agree on is that they are tired of taking care of you financially and that they have to do everything by themselves. What are you doing? What are you doing with your life? Where's your life? Huh? Where your life? Come on. Go fetch your life, Kondanisa Batong. Anyway, next scene. Guys, it's just a rant and a rave. I don't know what can make him boy offing it today. Yeah! Maybe that's also why the dogs are also just going bananas. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to do some serious editing, or maybe not, but like, it's a rant. It's a rant. It's a rant. If it's going down for you, then like let me know in the comments. If it's not, you know what? As I always say, make another choice in terms of what you're watching. But this is Rakadi's content, and Rakadi seems to be going in today. You Batung. Anyway, Sandiso takes Umakatebe to the park. Clearly, producers set this up. Put some art stuff there because she really loves art and painting. Ki picnic, go na le di marshmallow, le di Romani cream. He tells her that he's told Mamkulu that he's paid damages for her. She's happy about that. She tells him that her family wants to see him and have a meeting with him. And she says it's probably going to be today. Sandiso's nervous about it because he would prefer if he had a family member of his to accompany him. Which for me, understandable because Sandiso, the moment he opens his mouth, is just gonna be lying to everybody about everything. So, when it comes to actual relationship building and conflict resolution, at least it seems like this person knows that he doesn't have the skills, and it would be preferable if somebody else speak on his behalf. We don't know if that's going to happen. Maybe in the next episode, we'll see. She then proceeds to ask him if he's going to get a third wife, and he very casually and smoothly evades answering that question directly. And I hope she was reading between the lines when he gave her the answer that, like, well, in Zulu culture, what they say, the first wife is for the ancestors, the second wife is for Ubaba, and the third one is for me. He told you everything you needed to know there. Find your position in that line and act accordingly because he told you what time it was. When I'm Makatebe, the sad thing for me is that you're a very smart girl. You actually are a very smart girl. You're just drunk in love, my dear. That's all. Just unfortunate. You're love. We be all night. Omo, my love. Omo. And it clouds. It takes over our brains. I know, guys. Rakadi has seen it multiple times. I was also there. But you're a smart girl. And I think you do know who you're dealing with. But you're just choosing to lie to yourself about who you're dealing with because there's a child. But because you're also drunk in love. Ah, baby girl, how rough. So when I where you are in the order, you are not the third one. You're not the one for him. Anyway, we move on. Samantha and her aunt are meeting with Diaz and his family member. It's time to talk about damages. Diaz says he wants to come and pay damages for the child. because at the end of the day it's his child and he wants to do the right thing. I have a question. At this point in time, whose last name does this child have? Because it's not Diaz's, but whose is it? Is she Mazibuko? Is she Sibisi? I don't know, because that also, I don't know where to start having this conversation from, because I don't know what's the current state of affairs. But anyway, Auntie is not hearing it. Hey! Ikati laserenke, guys. She was here. Auntie was out. Told the, I don't know, Diaz is whatever. Let's call him a brother, cousin on the side there. That like this person impregnated somebody else's wife. Like, what is going on? And now you want to be talking about people having your last name. How? How is that gonna work? Diaz is saying, no, Samantha, he only knows the Mazibuko family, so that's why he's coming here to sort of try and have this conversation. And then the aunt is also like, is there something that's still happening between Wena and Samantha? Because this thing of you wanting the last name. This is what I'm going to say, actually, because I don't want to get in too much in the detail of this. Number one, auntie is not the best person to be bringing when situations need to be mediated. Harabata, please step in. This auntie is not the one. She's combative, she's aggressive, and she's actually not interested in educating people and finding some sort of resolve. Because culturally and traditionally, this situation, number one, I think is quite unique and very complex. And if you are ngaka, as she is, I think she is because she was Samantha's gobela, which to a certain degree is meant to be a custodian of traditions. This would have been the opportunity for you to teach people what is supposed to be happening in a situation like this and lead and guide them rather than just jumping down their throats very aggressively, telling them that it's never going to happen, that you want nothing to do with Diaz's family or with him, and that you're going to take this house. This house is going to be in Taulo, Yangwana. Other than that, you don't want anything else from him. How is that helping us come to some sort of resolve? Samantha, even in her diary session, was very disappointed and upset with the way that her aunt was handling this situation. Understandably so. And Samantha's like, yes, I think she's probably thinking about the fact that like she's gonna have to go to Kondanisa's family and like it's a fire and impy waiting for her there because she's gonna have to explain Samantha's actions to these people. But that's still not justifying the way that she's behaving right now. And at the end of the day, they got nowhere. They got nowhere from this conversation. She even told Diaz and, his family representative that they'd better go and just tell the rest of the family that this meeting was a disappointment and it was unsuccessful, which was really unfortunate because in the middle here, there is this child. And the 20 aluki setso dilo tsa hae, regardless of just the mess that she was born into. It's the child who's going to suffer at the end of the day. So they do need guidance. And that's why Samantha was even like, listen, now I've got my own home and I know how to do, msebenzi if it needs to be done. So I can do it here without her. But that's obviously not the situation that we want, because in situations where mesebetsi has to be done, it's obviously preferable if there are elders who are there to guide and facilitate those types of things. So, Auntie, I don't know if this was just for TV and a scene, but something tells me I think that's just who she is. We've seen her in other situations of mediation and communication with family, and she just takes it to like 100 when a 7 would have done. And unfortunately, I think, Samantha, you should have called your uncle, who was a lot more calm, who's a lot more reasonable in these types of situations, where we could have gotten some sort of resolve rather than it didn't work out, we're keeping the house, go tell your family, Diaz, that nothing's going to come of this and that I basically don't want to see you guys again. Dulas goes to visit Mamhlongo's sister to basically go ahead and tattle. That's what he's there for. He's there to tattle and tell on Mamhlongo, because in the midst of everything that's happened, Mamhlongo mentioned that there's a man that she's been seeing for the last 2 years And that has deeply pained Utulas, which, okay, fine. What There was a lot of other things that were happening though, Utulas, at that time. Maybe that's what stuck out for you. But like, anyway, he comes to Usbali. This Carlosona say, this person has got a somebody other than me in the mix. Loved it because sister got in his ass real quick. She told him that like she doesn't understand what he's talking about. She's confused. Because after everything that Umamhlongo went through, i.e. the miscarriage, you saw it fit that that was the correct time to bring your other two wives to her to start a fight with her. Did that seem like the right timing? She was even like, where were you at the time when this child was being lost? Where were you? Oh, now Dulas is looking so remorseful, sitting there quietly, looking once again like a 10-year-old who's being scolded because he is being scolded, and sister scolding him with good reason. This person was emotionally and physically not in a good state, Mamhlong. You were not there to support her. You were busy with other women in the streets. And now she's like, then now you want to come to me and ask me to go and speak to Mamhlonga and tell her off because she told you she got a boyfriend. She's confused. He then starts to apologize for his mistakes, and says he wasn't aware that he was making the mistakes. And at that point, Shem, like, Mamhlongo's sister just breaks down so painfully and so passionately into tears. You could see this woman is hurt. She is so hurt and she feels the pain that Umamhlongo was going through. And she just starts crying. Dula starts apologizing. And Mamhlongo tells him that, like, listen, this person, Umamhlongo, the sister says, Umamhlongo is never going to leave you. Never going to leave you. We don't even understand why, but she's never going to leave you. She's like, I'll tell you straight, she's never going to leave you. She loves you to the ends of the earth. She sacrificed even her whole family to be with you because nobody was for this relationship. And she's like, all I'm asking for you is to love her. Just love her and give her the attention and the affection. She's like, this thing, yeah, the boyfriend, there's no boyfriend. She just wants your attention and she wants your affection. I mean, at that stage, she doesn't know that there's no boyfriend for sure, but always got to stick up for people and then like go and find out the information later. Then we can come back and say, Sur. So she basically tells him that. And she's like, can you please just love her? Crying, impassioned, pleading with Utulas. Dulas, I don't know. He looked remorseful in the face. But, his one concern about how all of this was going was that the sister was, amusupa kaminwana when she was talking to him, which fine is not the most respectful thing. But this person is visibly upset, visibly frustrated. Can you take other parts of the conversation that were important? Can we take those away from this conversation and not just the fact that now super kamenwana? Yes, not super respectful, but like this person is upset. She's upset. But fine, she says she's gonna speak to Mamhlongo. Mistakes happen. Let's see. Let's see. Then we move on to Mamkunu's brother going to see Kondanisa, which is the last scene. So the brother comes in and he's like, basically, hi, Mfo, Smiley. I just came by to just, pass through, let you know that, I'm about to go to the chief and just go and report on the matter between Uyu and Umamkunu and this marriage. I don't know if like a marriage dissolving has to be announced to the chief. I know because Umamkunu says they are from royalty, so maybe there's a different procedure in terms of how all this needs to happen, and maybe there does have to be some back and forth conversations with the chief. I'm not sure personally about what the procedure is, but he's here to announce that he's going to, I think, start the conversations with the chief and just wanted to let him know. Kondanisa's pissed off because he's like, it's been 3-4 months that I've been trying to get a hold of this person. Hasn't returned my phone calls. And Usmara was like, no, I didn't see any calls from you. We don't know if that's true. Maybe he did. Something tells me that, like, I don't know, Spatty. I don't know. I don't know, Spatty, if I believe that one. Anyway, says Kondadisa says his family was wrong for keeping Umam Kunu the time when she left him and went back home. They should have been in contact with him because he lobolad Umam Kunu, and how can they just keep her like that and not speak to him? I don't know. Maybe somebody else might think like these are just like valid concerns. But like when a woman has packed her bags and like Umam Kunu guys, Begazel, Nyamazel, Bogodo, she was doing it. She was begazelling for years. When a woman, as R. Kelly will tell you, is fed up, when a woman's fed up and packs her bags and goes home, o batla shapa ke moya. Abate nix. She doesn't want to hear the excuses from you. She's there to be taken care of and nurtured because out here, and she's feeling raw and ragged. So I don't expect that Mam Kuno would have been open to hearing any sort of apologies from Utlonda Nisa. I think once she explained to her family and they also watched the TV show, they were probably also in need of some time to calm down themselves from what they were seeing. So culturally, maybe they're supposed to have called Utlonda Nisa. I don't know what the Zulu culture dictates in that situation. But for me, Kondanisa, there's just so much. There's just so much that you've been doing wrong. That, you know what, shame. Even sometimes when you're right, maybe I can't even be on your side on this one. Like, girl was hurt. She was a mess. She went back to her family for love and support, and that's what she got. Full stop. Um. So yeah, so he's trying to intimidate Kondanisa, trying to intimidate the brother. And he's basically saying the brother doesn't know what he's talking about. Busy asking him questions. What were you supposed to? You guys didn't do the things that you were supposed to do. And unfortunately, I know I just said in the last scene with like Samantha's aunt just being overly competitive. But in this situation, Ukondanis has a scope try and he needed another scope try because the brother was Nkari, he was being pushed off his position a little bit when Kondanisa started to puff his chest out and Abueka Peisi, Lena, this brother was now hemming and hahing because the brother was just like, well, I'm going to be on the side of my sister. This is a war. And in a war, I'm going to stand with my sister because you haven't been showing up as a man. You haven't been providing for the kids. She's gotten the house. She's gotten the car. She's pulling all the weight. Kondanisa then says, how do you know that she's pulling all of the weight? Don't come here, you, and tell me about my daughterness. I'm the daughter. I'm the daughter here. You don't know. We were living together. Whatever she told you, it might not be the truth. You don't know what you talk about. Don't come here and tell me. You don't know. You don't know what you're talking about. That was Kondanisa's position. In his diary session, then he proceeds to tell us that all of these things that Mam Kunu talks about that she's got, where are the paperworks? Because he can produce paperworks for the things that he owns. He mentions cars. Where are they? I don't know because now only see Kondanisa walking everywhere. Where are these cars? I don't know. Samantha tells us blatantly that you have nothing to contribute financially to her. She even told her aunt that auntie, you must stop standing up for Kondanisa in this discussion because it seems like you want me to go back to him. And I'm not going to go back to Kondanisa because I'm not going to take care of a man. I'm here. That's all it's going to be with Kondanisa is me taking care of him. And I'm trying to get some fucking peace. So if Samantha is very clear that if you're in relationship with Kondanisa, you're not going to benefit anything. You are the one who's going to be taking care of this adult. Mam Kunu singing the same hymn from the same page about taking care of Kondanisa. So I don't know. Maybe he's also got things that he's been hiding. Maybe there are monies that he's been making and he hasn't been telling anybody. What I can say, and I will say it again, I don't know what's happening with Mnakwethu financially, but what I can tell you and what my sense is that woman is working hard and she is ambitious. And she has said out of her own mouth multiple times, not just in this season, that she is intentionally hiding assets and putting them in her brother's name so that her children have something. So I believe that Mnakwethu has her own things. Does he know about them? Uqondanisa? I don't think so. Does Qondanisa have his own things? Possible. Question mark. We don't know. But you're not moving in this world like somebody who has these things. Maybe you have another life we don't know about. I don't know. But one thing I do know about Qondanisa is that his ego is very much front and center and making decisions for his life. Even him wanting his wives back is just about his ego. This alleged other person who's in the picture that he was telling his wives about last week, that's just an ego move to boost him, boost his confidence. Just boost nyana in confidence because the ego's bruised because these women can't be leaving me. Me? Do they know who I am? So I know his ego is very much front and center. So whether he owns these assets or not, I don't know. None of us know. Who are we? We are strangers on the internet. But I know that his ego will definitely not allow for him to be told by Usmali in his house, probably his father's house, I think. But in the family house in which he is sitting, his ego will not allow Usmali to be telling him that he doesn't actually have anything and that his wife has been taking care of him. Which also for me, Usmali, like, if I must put myself in Qondanisa's shoes for a little bit, I also would not appreciate it. How dare you come here and tell me about what's happening in between my marriage and what I did and what I didn't do. Like, okay, your sibling might have told you, but that's one side of the story. So, Smiley, unfortunately, I don't think the meeting went well. Qondanisa's ego was in full effect. He was pushing back. He said he wasn't going to allow himself to be pushed around. He knows her family. You know, they're full of nonsense. They do these things. They try to intimidate people, but he knows what time it is. They're not the only people who are royal. I'm also royal. Who are you? Who are you? Qondanisa told the Smiley, bring it! What? We're right here. I know. Qondanisa was really just fighting back and was not going to take us. As I said, they needed to send another scope try. But maybe actually that wasn't going to work. Another scope try, maybe Netoba explosion. We don't know what it is. But Qondanisa said, are you scared? I'm scared of you. I kill it happy. Do what you must. And that was episode 8, guys. Well done. And thank you for getting to the end of this video if you did. If you have not done so yet, please hit the notification bell button. Like and subscribe, guys. Voice ichile, kilizamile. I did the best that I could for you because I love you guys. And thank you so much for your continued support. Please, 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 please continue to go out there, and particularly at the end of the year when we are all fatigued and we are just feeling like we're 5G, please continue to go out there in the world and spread love, not hate. Cheers from Rakadi.